So, hello everyone, welcome to Digimon's first webinar for 2023. Over the next half an hour or so, we will explore how leading brands are powered by insights to support their strategic decisions. So, over this course of the next half an hour, I'll be sharing with you about our Digimon solution, the importance of data in decision making for business, how you can leverage on social listening data for your strategy, and also share some case studies on how brands have benefited from social listening insights. My name is Faisal. I'm the Insights Manager at Digimon APAC. So I've been in this social media and market research space for over 7 years now. And in this role, right, I bring together my experience from both these domains and combine them to help brands understand the conversations on social media and how they can use the insights gathered to support their business decisions. So I'll begin by giving you a brief introduction on who we are. And then in the next section, I'll explain to you why data is important. More specifically, how leveraging on insights through third-party partners can help you expand your marketing objectives. Then I'll share more about Digimon Science Lab and our capabilities. And before I take your questions at the end, I will share some case studies on from some of our clients on how they managed to derive actionable insights from social listening. In this portion, right, you might find it interesting and for some even relatable as you apply your business problems to these cases and sort of envision how you could benefit from social listening. Okay, so before we begin proper, please take note that you don't have to leave your questions to the end of this session. Throughout this session, you can drop your questions in the toolbar at the side. You can access at the side of your screen, and we'll consolidate the questions and address them all at the end. So, as I go on, you may have some questions in mind. Please feel free to drop it in that box before you forget your questions. Okay, now let me spend a couple of minutes to talk about Digimon and what we do. So Digimon, we are a social listening and analytics company with proprietary software that enables brands, enables agencies to listen to social media conversations. Then in doing so, this will allow them to understand what people are talking about online with regards to the brands, their competitors, and also their topic of interest. Right, so we work hand in hand with our clients to set up the platform comprehensively, and then we facilitate their usage of the software. We've been in this social listening space for more than 20 years now, starting out in a basement in Grenoble in 1998. Then progressively, we expanded our ops across the globe. And this international presence is important because it gives us the edge in allowing us to tackle multi-market projects that some of the biggest brands require. Okay, so some of our clients, they are global brands and they want to cover markets in Europe, in Middle East and Asia Pacific. So this network that we have, it enables us to work across the regions to provide coverage on all the markets involved. In APAC alone, right, we have some team members in the Philippines, Indonesia, and also Vietnam to handle these specific markets. Innovation is a core pillar for Digimon. So because the software is our very own, we constantly develop updates to the software and we deepen our expertise in the technology so that we can remain relevant and most importantly, provide more value to our customers. All right, so now you can see some of the byproducts of our social listening solution, and it depends on your business value of the project. Okay, so our clients, they can assess their brand reputation, possibly dive deeper into consumer insights, and also benchmark themselves against the key players in their specific market. And our tool collects data that can be used to track campaign performance. And can also be used to identify key opinion leaders or influencers, or even detect a brewing crisis. Other than that, it can also detect upcoming trends and also help create audience personas for your marketing strategy. Right, so if you're looking at your competition, you can also assess your share of voice and this can be extrapolated to the share of your market. You can also monitor your competitors' campaigns and their social media strategy to see what works with the target audience. And then you can align your marketing strategy with what resonates with them. The data can also tell you if there are new players entering the market, entering the field, and even track the innovations by your competitors. Right, so now you see a lot of logos on the screen. These are basically the platforms that we can cover. We have the widest coverage of online sources. We are strong in the coverage of the traditional powerhouses like Facebook, otherwise known as Meta now, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. For platforms like TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitch, Discord, and Facebook groups, we can cover them as optional sources. And of course, since you are in APAC, right, we also cover the regional platforms such as Line, WeChat, QQ, and Weibo. And currently, we are working to include more coverage for other channels like Xiaohongshu and Douyin. On top of social media platforms, we can also cover Google search. We can cover blogs, forums, Reddit, and reviews. Reviews can be in the form of e-commerce reviews, those you find in Lazada reviews or Shopee reviews or Google reviews. Okay, and our technology, this it allows us to add specific websites, specific social media pages that you want to add, especially if you're looking deeper into your own platforms or your competitors' platforms. Right, so this data is vital because it lets us look at the smart data. So we don't look at the big data, but we focus and look at the smart data so we can understand the market and consumer insights. These are just some of the biggest brands that we've worked with locally within APAC and globally as well. Our long-time clients like Lazada, like L'Oreal, they have used social listening to detect insights faster than their competitors so that they can ensure their position as market leaders. We also work with agencies that service their own clients to ensure that they can provide a holistic marketing experience for their customers. Right now, let's head into this section where I can help you understand the challenges posed by traditional market research and share with you about the modern approach to marketing. I mentioned earlier that I came from a market research background, so I am aware of the limitations and the veracity of market research data that we collect through these means. So I hope that today I can bring some awareness on the challenges and provide you some points to think about. Okay, so customer gap. So this is a term that marketers are familiar with. It is the difference between customer expectations and customer perceptions. But what we're trying to explore here is looking at it from a micro perspective of the customer. What are the ways in which the customer relay mismatched feedback back to the brands? Value action gap. This is the space that occurs when the values, whether it's personal or cultural, or the attitudes of an individual do not correlate with their actions. This term can also be known as attitude behavior gap, intention behavior gap, or belief behavior gap. And sometimes marketers, they observe a dissonance between the strategy that they design based on the market research data and the results of the campaign from the consumer's perspective. So this may be attributed to the value action gap that occurs in traditional research. So in this type of research, you're looking at online surveys, you're looking at FGDs, in-depth interviews. Participants are often faced with various external factors like time pressure, prompting, and also groupthink. It takes a highly skilled facilitator to extract highly accurate perspectives from a research participant. They need to know the body language, know how to read the room, know how to extract honest views from the participant without allowing other factors to influence the the points that the participants relay. And of course, we know that highly skilled facilitators are hard to come by, and this will affect the consistency of market research data. So how do you find the blind spot in marketing data? Okay, so when you collect data through various means, there will always be a gap. And through research, you could find out the general demographics of your target audience. You can also learn about the feedback on your products and your services. So what's this gap we are talking about? This gap is referring to the data that will drive the conversion of your customers. Filling in the gaps within your internal data sets, it will help you provide a deeper and more accurate understanding of your customer, so that at the end of the day, you can learn how to best engage with them. And then with these insights, marketers like yourselves, you can address your customers' needs with new products, new offerings, and consistent and interesting communication in omni-channel environments. The internal data sets information on your own customers. This could be data on their behaviors, their actions, or their interests that have already been collected across all your assets. So where can you find them? You have data from your CRM. You have subscription data if you are a subscription service, and you have social media data. Okay, this data can also include non-online information like surveys, customer feedback, and other sort of customer information that have been stored in your CRM database. So this market blind spot is not just about what's missing in the context of data in general, but the market blind spot is more about what customers want that's missing. Okay, so this links back to my previous slide where I mentioned that consumers do not really do the things that they say in traditional market research. Okay, so we know there's a wealth of data if you look at the right places. You can find traditional data, transactional data when you do your sales, your demographic data, and also lifestyle data. It also matters how you use the data in a way that will benefit you and benefit your business. We ask marketers, when we ask marketers which data sets they were currently using to analyze their customers, 68% said that they were only using some of the data available. This is quite a waste because there's plenty of data sets available, but not being fully utilized in campaigns. Right now, I don't wish to overwhelm you, but the diversity and the volume of data will keep increasing. What I didn't touch on in detail in the previous slide was social media data. And this, in fact, is a domain that's rapidly growing. All right, so a study by Statista showed that a large chunk of the world's data was created in the last 2 years. So just to give you an idea, we are looking at the data that's created, captured, copied, and consumed all around the world. The overall size is about 64 zettabytes. So what is zettabytes, right? To put in context, we have kilobytes, we have mega, giga, terabytes, and then we have petabytes, exabytes, and finally zettabytes. So you can just imagine how many zeros there are in that figure. So you can see the diagram. There's an exponential growth in the size of data that we can expect in coming years. Now the question is, do you have the capacity and resources to comb through all that data in order to generate the insights internally? So what will you do as a company to tackle this? Now, we say you work smarter, not work harder. You outsource your insights tasks. This will help you save costs amongst other benefits. It will, when you work in partnership with your insights specialists, will help you understand the data without the burden of time, the burden of resources, and the burden of training new people. So when you hire an experienced partner firm, right, you can focus on your key responsibilities, while a team of trained experts can handle everything that's social. So you focus on your business needs, your operations, and you leave the groundwork to the partners. So these companies and individuals, who specialize in social, they already have the skills, they have the knowledge, the experience, and so the time, because it's their dedicated job to effectively manage your social media insights. Okay, so we do this the day in and day out. We have established our internal best practices, our workflows to ensure successful social management. And we have the bandwidth to stay up to date with all the technological updates, all the different platforms that are upcoming. We know how to develop the tech to listen into these platforms, and will save you from investing valuable time in doing your trial and error in creating your own capabilities. And if you outsource your insights, you can sidestep the costs like the benefits, payroll, basically the overhead costs that are associated to hiring, training a new team. Instead, when you engage a third-party firm, you have a whole team of highly skilled analysts. They can deliver your social media insights at a more efficient cost. So this saves you the financial risk and your time. Again, the partners, they are specialists in their role. They already have the skills and the knowledge acquired over years of experience in this field. So they know how to translate complex data into insights that your side you can easily consume, understand, and take action on. And more than ever, investing in social media for your business should be a priority. But if you're not equipped with a social team or an understanding of the landscape, it's pretty difficult to measure or see the ROI for all your effort. So again, in summary, most effective way to approach this challenge, this realm of data, is to engage external partners, external specialists who have done it for years, as opposed to creating your own in-house capabilities. So I've been going on and on about why it's important to consider third-party partners. And this is where Digimon Science Lab comes in. Okay, so over the next few slides, I'll share with you about the insights team that we have in Digimon that supports social listening projects for some of our clients. Okay, so with Digimon Insights, we can provide you with customized reports based on your specific needs. We generate insights that you can immediately take action on. And when we deal with clients, we take a personalized approach. We build the relationship, we form an understanding, because we want to know what their pain points are, what their business objectives are in the context of their business. And then we work together to come up with a solution that ticks all their boxes. So we have a team of analysts, and of course, we are well versed in our Digimon tools. There's no learning curve. For some clients who want to develop their own capabilities, they need to learn the platform. That's not their own, so you need to invest time in learning this new technology. But our analysts, we are already familiar with the platform, and through the conversations with the clients, we acquire knowledge on their business problem. Then together we will design a social listening strategy that will give quality data for the analysis. Because if you look at big data, there's so much noise. You need to fine tune the platform. You need to include specific keywords so that you have only relevant data in the dashboard that you can look at and analyze. Okay, so in this process, you do not have to worry about learning how to use the platform at all, because we have our analysts who are trained to do so. And this approach typically works best with client teams that are more lean in structure and have limited time and resources. Okay, so our team of analysts and partners can cover a range of languages. I said earlier, we have a team in Europe, a team in Northern Africa, so we have a wide variety of language coverage, and also the technical know-how on social listening and the skills to analyze data comprehensively. So what we do is we transform big data into smart data, the data that is catered to what you are focusing on, the topic of your interest. And then we distill this information, and then we present it in reports and give you actionable insights. So some of the things we can provide are real-time dashboards, email alerts for crisis, for example, regular weekly or monthly newsletters to keep up to date with your industry, and complete reports. I'll go through the different types of reports that we can provide in the next slide. Okay, so when we deliver report, this will answer most of your business questions. On what would you like to find out? Is it consumer insights? Is it the trends in the market? Are you even looking for potential influencers to tap on for your next marketing campaign? This platform is customizable. We can set it up to fulfill these objectives, and our analysts can crunch the data and provide you with the reports at the end of the day. So here are just some examples of what we can produce for trend reports. We explore social media data to extract the emerging trends, those trends that have yet to turn popular. Okay, then we can track the trajectory of current trends to see whether its popularity is increasing or waning. We can also dive deeper into consumer insights to see why people are following these trends and what they're talking about with regards to a particular trend. Then in the report, we combine visuals and concise analysis to help you understand the information quickly. We can also set up a platform to monitor your social media campaigns. If you have specific keywords or hashtags used for your campaigns, you can put it in the platform to closely track all the mentions related to your campaign. Let's take, for example, Singles Day sale, or what we know as 11/11 sales. So during this period in November, many e-commerce platforms, they run concurrent campaigns to promote their sales. Then what we do is we can track the performance of one brand, our client brand, and compare it with the performance of its competitors. Then when we generate the report, it can be technical to cater to the marketing teams, or condensed and easy to read for other recipients and stakeholders like the management. Another interesting type of report we can produce are customer persona reports. Okay, so when we collect all the data based on the keywords that we put into the platform, we can identify the demographics of the people who are posting the mentions. Then we can dive deeper into the profiles of the audience to analyze their persona and sort of paint a caricature of the different types of consumers that brand should target. Okay, so through this methodology, we can also identify the key conversation starters, those people who shape the narrative surrounding the brand or the industry. Then the client can engage these people as influencers for their next marketing campaign. Right, so Digimon Science Lab, we combine the best of social listening technology and human analytical thinking to help our clients or brands optimize the use of social media data, then develop concrete strategies to tackle the market. Okay, in this section, I'll share some case studies from our clients who have worked with us on social listening projects. And if you listen closely, right, you might be able to relate to some of their business challenges and consider how this can be applied to you. Okay, so for this first one, the client is one of the largest US-based car manufacturers, among the top 5 globally. Then they have a wide range of vehicles. They have SUVs, they have sedans, they have performance vehicles, and electric vehicles. So what did they want to achieve through social listening? They want to boost recognition of their vehicles. They want to improve their product strategy, and they want to enhance the customer experience. Right, so we set up the platform, gave them reports, and then through the reports, they were able to get key insights on the vehicle and offer characteristics. You're looking at the price points, the safety and security aspect, fuel consumption, and specific technicalities to related to cars, like suspension or braking strength, etc. They also got insights on the consumer buying experience. So we're looking at the ordering process, the delivery time, the financing options for the car purchase. Then one of the last insights they gathered were communication content strategies for social media, for advertising, and for their brochures. Okay, this next one is interesting. I personally worked on it. This brand is one of the most used technology tech organizations. They are in the internet space. They also offer a suite of office products and also for mobile users. So what they wanted to achieve from this social listening project was to map a conversation on the buzz on TikTok. They want to build a successful pilot for the brand on TikTok, and they want to drive the brand perception among the Gen Z audience on TikTok as well. So we looked at the platform, the TikTok platform. We put in the keywords related to their products, and then give them a report that help them understand what kind of products, their own products, are more popular, can increase the content virality, and promote user-generated content. We also looked at the content types. Is it humor? Is it all those dancing TikToks? What content pillars can be implemented to obtain significant buzz on TikTok? Then we also identified who are the key conversation starters. Then we identified the key campaign influencers that can help the brand generate more successful online engagement. And this last one is from one of the largest NGOs in the world in the climate domain. So what they wanted to do was to spot relevant trends to boost their communications narrative. They also wanted to discover opportunities in the social media space to strengthen the climate campaigning. So this this is one of our long-time clients. We gave them quarterly reports covering many markets in APAC. And with these reports, they could understand clearly the alignment in values between this NGO and the target communities, how they can strengthen the awareness within the markets. They also looked at their own media, means mentions coming from their own assets, and how this has contributed to the share of voice on social media. So essentially they want to see whether their social media activity increased mentions in the climate domain within these markets. Then they also managed to identify potential influencers who can promote the environment message to create a greater impact. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you today. I hope you're able to take away some key learning points from this session, and have a think about getting serious with social media data. Now is the time for me to take your questions. If you have any, please feel free to leave them in the questions tab, and I'll address them one by one. Okay, so the first question is the turnaround time for a standard insights project. We have different types of clients looking at different monitoring periods. So some of them want quarterly reports, some want biannual reports, some want campaign reports. So we will cut off the monitoring period. So for example, we're looking at quarterly reports, 3 months of monitoring. So 1st Jan till 31st March, that's the monitoring duration. We'll cut off the listening, and then we will do two things. We will validate the data. We will manually read the most relevant mentions to categorize this data. Then we create a sample before we do qualitative assessment, qualitative analysis. So reports can have the quant and the qual portion. Look at share of voice, that's quant. Looking at the themes of the mentions, that's the qual portion. Then this process of validation and analysis typically takes about 2 to 3 weeks to generate a proper full report. And if more markets are covered, obviously more time is needed because we need to work with language partners who understand the context of the language in these regions more accurately. Okay, so I hope that addressed the question. Next, does the insights team present the data analytics? How we package our services? We have some clients who are more hands-off. They only want insights reports. Some want insights reports and the ability to log into the platform and look at the data themselves. For the insights reports, we can further break it down to what they need. If you want presentations, we'll factor in the presentation costs, because not only do we need to condense the about 70-page slides into a 1-hour session, we need to prepare the delivery to the stakeholders. So yes, we can do presentations, but it comes at an added cost. Right. The third question is, do you have access to data? Yes, like I mentioned for the second question, right? Two types of clients. One is insights only, one is insights and platform subscription. If your team has the ability and resources to look at the data on a regular basis, and you want to log on to the platform, you can subscribe to the database. Give you access, you can log in, you can look, basically what the analysts see will be what you are looking at. Similar interface. We can create dashboards, so you can have weekly updates on the chatter, you can have maybe monthly updates on the chatter, and you can look into the data deeper if that's what you want. But again, some clients with extremely lean teams, they just want a hands-off approach. Maybe we have discussions at the start during the kickoff to align our objectives, and then they leave it to us to produce the reports at the end of the monitoring period. Okay, another question on specific markets like India and Middle East. We do have analysts in Morocco who understand Arabic, and for markets where we don't have analysts, we have language partners who we frequently work with. So they also know how to use the platform, even though they're not employed by Digimon. Basically, freelancers in these markets who work closely and frequently with us. We will work with them to do the validation portion. So once we categorize the data, the language partners will do a translation of the relevant mentions. Then the analyst, even though they do not speak that particular language, can look at how the data is grouped and also refer to the translation for better context. So yes, in fact, we have done projects that covered India. It was one of the biggest paint conglomerates in the region. So you look at many markets. You looked at India, you looked at Sri Lanka, you looked at Southeast Asia as well. And for Middle East, you still can approach us, but we will work together with our Moroccan analysts to make sure that they handle the project, because they have better understanding in Arabic. Okay, you're asking for generalized costing. The thing is, there's no standard package. Different customers come with us with different requirements. We have ad hoc projects, we have annual projects with monthly reports, quarterly reports, and biannual reports as well. So depending on the frequency of the reports, it will vary, the price will vary. If you are keen to find out, no, just drop me a note. My email is at the final slide later. Drop me a note or connect with me on LinkedIn, and then we can have a discussion so I can understand the context of your project better and give you a more accurate costing. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be any more questions. I hope I have addressed everyone's concerns and queries. With that, we've come to the end of this webinar. My email is there for you to take down if you want to connect with me on a potential project. I hope this session has been useful for you, giving you some food for thought on social media data. Right, so I can also be reached on LinkedIn if you want to talk about your marketing campaigns or exploring social media listening for your business unit. Feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a great lunch.